Warning, the following show features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, the reality guys and producers must insist that none of these opinions be taken as facts. Now, please enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hello.
And Kevin.
Hello.
As you can see in the title, we are here to talk the Challenge All-Stars. This is season 3, episode 7. This was a good episode, guys. This one had one of the tried and true episodes that occurs every season, whether it's regular challenge or the All-Stars. We had our trivia night. Shooting Stars was the kind of the iteration this time. They basically bungee jumped you backwards if you got 3 strikes, a combination of getting questions wrong or if someone else got a question right, then being able to give you the strikes. We also had a pretty good elimination challenge, pulling your weight, which I think we should probably lead with that, and then let's go back and talk about the trivia. So it ended up being Jordan versus Mark for the guys, and then Ronnie versus John A for the women. Bri, Kev, what did you guys think about the elimination and the ultimate ending with us losing Jordan and losing Ronnie? Kev, what do you think?
Wait, what did they have to do exactly? They had to hold up that bag.
You had to pull the bag, the heavy bag up, which had the puzzle pieces, and then you had to go and do the puzzle thing. So,
right.
What did you think about it, Kev?
To be honest, every time Jordan's in, I always just assume he's going to win. And so I was kind of like surprised when Mark did pull it out. And to be honest, every time John A's in, I think I just assume she's going to lose. So like, I was also surprised that Ronnie got sent home. Also, I wish every time that they say the word Ronnie, it's really just Ronnie from the Jersey Shore that comes in and surprises everybody. Because
Ron.
Right. That'd be cool.
Stop, Ron. Brian, what did you think overall of the eliminations and the result?
I'm disappointed that Ronnie went home because I think Kevin and I were talking about it last week. Like we were kind of pulling for her because she's like that lone island there, like no one's talking to her, and I just kind of felt bad for her. And like, but I'm fine. John A doesn't. I guess she's okay.
Also, it's bullshit though. Like when they threw her in, it was like, well, I got to go for the best of my game, and you're the biggest threat. It's like you haven't.
That's true.
The best of your game is just avoiding the treehouse girl. So like, I'd say it's her biggest threat.
It's like literally, if people have been watching the challenge, our challenge coverage, everyone knows probably one of my least favorite phrases in reality TV. What's best for my game? I just can't. It's please stop it. It's like I have to take a shot every time I hear what's best for my game. And now it's like, why I've been drunk. You know what I mean? I just can't stand that. As far as the elimination, I'll be honest. Like I love Jordan. Jordan's one of my favorite players. I really have enjoyed it, but I am one of those people he talks about with this like Hercules and whoever the F freaking person tattooed on his leg. Like I saw that challenge and instantly was like, Jordan has one hand. He's probably not going to win this challenge. Like I'm going to like, I hands up, like hand up. Like I like can't like, I always get mad for him. I think that's my thing. I'm like, come seriously, like if this was a challenge last week where you're moving the thing,
it's bullshit that they're like Jordan's in. Let's give him one where he strictly has to use his hands.
Right.
Like,
and I know I do believe that they do have a set order. I don't really think that they're going out to like screw someone. Honestly, I think Jordan is someone they really wouldn't go out of their way to screw. People seem to like him.
I kind of do though.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, obviously.
Like, of course they're just out to screw Jordan.
What do you think, Brian?
Steps up and fucking wins it, and you're like, that's why I started liking him, because it's like this dude is killing it, and he has one less appendage than all of us.
I can agree for that in the past. I think he was kind of a jerk, but Brian, what do you think on this?
Like to combat like how are these challenges actually chosen? It'd be nice when they like have to pick someone. They spin something, or it's like, oh, they're gonna do this challenge or something like that.
Dude,
like,
wasn't that a thing on something? I swear to God,
it definitely was one year.
Just like so old school challenge, right, Kev? There was like 4 or 5 different games you could get. Right?
Yeah, just so you're not like, oh, that seems kind of ridiculous that it's a pulley one and he obviously need 2 hands. I mean, he did very well because he's great, but like, just
Bring
want-
back
When
the
he
wheel,
beat- when
TJ.
he beat Josh on that pool, took a wood
Yeah.
thing with one hand, like that was incredible.
Yeah,
So you
right.
can't like ever put anything past him, but
It's
I don't know,
almost
it's
where
tough.
like it's a tough thing. It's like something you don't want to accuse of, but then don't want to accuse of, and it's just like at the same time they can't schedule around him either, and that would then kind of draw a
Right.
different criticism. As far as the John A, I mean, I thought that was a pretty even matchup.
Mhm.
So I mean, good for her. John A has won, so I'm not really shocked when I do see her win something. Only thing of note coming out of that elimination, that does leave Mark and John A both with 4 stars. So they are definitely the star ranking and numbers are starting to gather up with the different.
wait, I
remaining
think
members.
Derek has 4 too, doesn't he?
Yeah, Derek
Yeah.
has 4.
Yep. So we're definitely in. It will hopefully mean something sooner or
Which these
later.
stars apparently they don't mean anything.
There's only 10
Like,
episodes in the All-Star seasons, so they got to
I don't
get to
understand,
getting.
like once you get to the final, like what's a
Next week's probably the. I got to look back at the while we're recording. I'll check when someone's making a point, but I forget. But I think the finale was a 2-parter last year. Was it?
it always is. Yeah,
Maybe. I don't remember.
Because if it
but-
was, then that would be 9 and 10, meaning that next week would be the final one before the finale starts. There's 10 people
Yeah.
left.
Well,
I don't know.
now is like the fair.
Like
I
8
guess
people is
reading
not bad for a
where-
finale, I guess, right?
The fair reading on
Yeah.
who you think is going to win.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. But
After all the bullshit.
no, let's get to that right after we get to kind of what we were talking to pre-show, which is going to be a little bit more of the fun part here. The trivia, guys. Shooting stars. We obviously know our winners were Veronica. They had a lot of Veronica coverage this week. Kind of got a little bit catch up on her personal life. Not as much of a fan of Veronica as I used to be. And the winner was Derek, which was really funny. It's a little bit of redemption because he's classically not done well. I know you were saying this, Brian. I'll kind of let you elaborate about these people aren't super bright all the time.
No, man. Like this is some of the questions they got wrong. Like, how do you not know who killed Abraham Lincoln?
Oh, that was Kayla.
Like, honestly, man. Like,
Lance Armstrong was my
Everybody
favorite
knows
answer.
it was John F. Kennedy who killed Abraham Lincoln.
But if he said the Illuminati, would that have been correct?
yeah,
yeah,
and like the Neil Armstrong one.
Lance
I-
Armstrong.
well,
Well,
how
that's
someone-
funny. That one was funny. That's
Yeah,
an
I can also see how somebody could accidentally say like Buzz Aldrin or something, like a name that like really sticks with the moon.
Mhm.
But like, you gotta know who John Wilkes Booth is,
They
man.
always kept saying like, you don't know what it's like when you're up there and
Yeah.
like the pressure's on. Like every time.
no, I
it's a
do.
Dumb answer. It's like meh.
Yeah, what was the other one?
I'm-
I don't know. Like Tiger King, you didn't know that? Like
She didn't
I'm
do
sorry.
Tiger King.
Lion King was your answer.
Lion King, and then she said tiger instead of cheetah. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what is the
Yeah.
spelling ones are BS though.
Yeah, that is garbage.
That's BS.
That's
That I'll
garbage.
get to anybody. I hate having to try to visualize that crap. That's
And they're not. Yeah,
Oh,
those words are
they're
like
not
super advanced too.
And everybody fucking uses spell check now. There's no reason to learn words.
That's not trivia.
No.
Yeah.
That's
I will
something we
say
can
this,
do though.
I'm pissed off that they call it trivia. Actually, I have 2 points about it. They call it trivia, but like you can still get eliminated being the smartest person.
Right.
there.
I don't like that you can give out. I think it should be if you're right, you're safe, move on.
Yeah,
Only
straight
like
up,
ticks.
move on.
Like two strikes, you can't get 2 wrong.
And if anything, like if they just keep going through it and through it and through it, you're gonna
Right,
get
just
more
montage
dumb
it.
answers by people.
Just
Yeah.
montage it.
That's what they always used to do. And I don't understand why they don't do any challenge questions for the All-Stars. They would be the cool ones who could pull some deep dive questions and some deep dive answers.
They
Instead,
did
they're
that
like,
season one.
they did
who's
that
the main character of Harry Potter?
Oh. They did
I-
that season 1 of like
Yeah,
challenge
I think
trivia.
season 1 they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And then it's
I
just
want
like
them to
all
mix it in, do it
Yeah, I
in a
agree.
mix. But like, I want to get some. It'd be funny because I would do it where like the answers, like you don't tell them this in the beginning, but the answers are all like people who are like there. So
Yeah.
it'd be like funny to have like
That'd be cool.
random trivia about the people who are there, like anything like that.
I agree.
Overall,
Well, it'd be funny to like have trivia about
yeah,
shown moments.
like their
Like-
lives, like their real lives and stuff.
Right.
That'd be really
And it's like,
funny.
oh, like just hot takes.
Name
left
the
and right.
challenger, and it's
But the other one I
pure
want to say,
fact.
and I'm surprised Bill doesn't hop on this a little bit harder due to his love of hosts in general. But the giddiness of
Yeah.
DJ Lavin is like so pure
Yeah, I
and
love it.
so funny. He every time he pulls that lever, which was like the top of a handle or a shovel this time. He's just
Yeah.
Like the coyote.
Yeah,
Love
dude,
it.
it's so funny.
Yeah,
And
I
he's like
agree.
that every time.
Yeah, he knows because he knows how dumb they are.
I appreciate his positivity. Trust me, like everyone knows I'm all about the positive host because he's been a little bit of a downer kind of during this season, in my opinion. So yeah, definitely kudos. And I'm glad you're bringing that up, Kevin. Kudos to him for actually being a positive aspect, even if it was basically just teasing them all for being dumb, which I don't blame him. So let me ask you guys.
He gets off on, oh my God, how did you know that?
Yeah.
Because it was wrong.
Idiots. It's like the guy at the end of Billy Madison.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were right.
We're all dumber for having
You
listened to this. May
Yeah.
God have mercy on your soul. Like that's basically TJ Lavin. So let me ask you guys. We are going into episode 8 next week. So if you had to guess now, since most of our picks and everything's kind of blown up, who do you think the guy and girl favorites are? Brian, you first.
So I mean, if we're gonna take stars into account, I'm gonna say Derek.
Okay, Derek. And what about the female?
I don't know. I mean, probably Kayla.
Fuck.
Well, you picked Kayla, Kevin,
going both
preseason.
Kayla and Derek.
Well, you took Kayla preseason, so that's definitely obviously still applies. And Derek is a good one as well. I mean, Kayla is looking like a pretty solid pick. But you know, I think John A is kind of proven herself again this season. She hasn't backed down from eliminations and she's done well. She's very smart. She's fast with those puzzles, and you know that's going to come into account during the finale. And I think also that Kayla's pretty smart as well. So I'm very interested in that. So I'm going to go John A just to kind of not all of us go Kayla, because I was thinking Kayla a little bit in my head too. For the guys,
Nehemiah.
Nehemiah. I would probably. I think Mark's got a strong chance.
Yeah, I do. I agree.
I think Mark's got a strong chance now, and I would love to see it. I like Mark.
I think it'd be awesome for the show if he won.
I think he would be very invested in keeping All Stars going because he's like one of the executive like producers. So like if he wins too, then he'll be like less apt to worry about like competing every year, or he will, but like be into keeping it going.
Yeah, he can become like a salesman to like actual people they want on the show. Like,
and we're going to talk about this because we're going to do a preview in the coming week of the CBS challenge that's coming up. But a lot of stuff that I'm seeing online is people are kind of basically saying like, hey, like we're going to have to check because they're still going to do the regular challenge, but over time, the All Stars is basically going to be the challenge that we know the most with the familiar people the most. And it's going to be more, the other one's going to be a lot more of the other CBS stuff and may take precedent. So the health of All Stars and people watching on Paramount Plus is big. Like it's actually important for people to be watching it and actually have Paramount Plus. So, and I'm cool. It's pretty cool to see the challenge being like a driving force for a streaming service. It's like one of a kind there. So I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. If you're not subscribed, please do. Like we said, we're going to be covering the CBS challenge. We're going to have a season preview with the cast, and then we'll cover it weekly. Also going to cover the regular challenge when it does return. It is filming right now. I've had to kind of mute a lot of the challenge groups because they are starting to get kind of like live feeds of what's happening. So we're obviously always a spoiler-free page. Also look out for a season preview of The Bachelorette. That's going to start a week after the CBS challenge. We're also going to probably do a preview / some coverage in some form of Big Brother as well this summer. So take a look out for all of that, our retro reviews, and all of our past coverage of other seasons. But for myself, Kevin, Brian, thank you. Peace.
Bye.